Well, that wraps up all the matches in CONCACAF World Cup qualifying in tonight's final round. Panama going to their first World Cup since 2018. Suriname to the playoff. Curaçao makes history, becoming the smallest country by population and landmass to qualify for the World Cup. And Jamaica will go to the playoff. Haiti, they go to their second World Cup, the first since 1974, eliminating Costa Rica and Honduras. Honduras was right there for the playoff, but with the own goal in Suriname's game, they have taken Honduras' spot in the second game playoffs. Woo! How are you guys? How are you guys feeling after that, huh?
Well, I guess I can speak for myself. Terrific.
Because you have no pressure. You have no pressure.
None at all.
You have no pressure.
Yeah, but I'm
automatic bid into the World Cup.
I feel
no
terrific
pressure.
for the little countries. Curaçao, are you kidding me? This is a dream come true. Most importantly, Haiti. What the people of Haiti have been through for decades. This is going to bring life to a nation that needs that ounce of hope, the happiness that brings people together, that you can forget about some of the things that you're going through, that your family's going through, that the country's going through politically. This is what the game does for people, for a country. I am so moved by Haiti in what they've been able to accomplish in this World Cup campaign. Phenomenal. That's what I'm so driven about.
Yeah,
I'm moved by these results.
I'm just feeling the same as you, Charlie. Like, it's just seeing the scene, seeing the fans, the players, like the staff members, people crying of joy. It just shows like how much this means to them. And we talked about it earlier. Just football is, I mean, it's one of the most beautiful things that exists because of this, right? It's what unites people. It's what gives them hope. And like you said, it gives them something to look forward to. So I'm happy for them. It's great.
Well, we as non-Haitians can only imagine how they are feeling. We do have a producer, Breeze, here at the Golazo Network that is a very proud Haitian. And he sent us a video of some scenes going on in the household. Take a look at this.
I'd be the same way if I was right now.
Oh my gosh. So that's him with his family, an absolutely generation-defining moment, as you guys were saying, for Haiti. Speaking about who else was it? It's Curaçao, who also goes through automatically. I mean, how incredible of a story is it for them?
It's a wonderful story, and I love the underdog, and I love being the smallest and going into the biggest stage of the world. Now, what I'm here for is, what are you going to do now that you're in the World Cup? You're going to just be happy that you're there? You're just going to celebrate that? Or are you going to now prepare for the biggest stage? Are you going to want to compete, or are you just happy to be there? That's the next phase of becoming elite. Going from qualifying to now actually making noise in the World Cup, that's the difference maker.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's no expectations for them. If they got blown out every single game,
they're still a party.
3-0, 3-0. It's just the accomplishment to get to the World Cup, the smallest nation to ever do so. They've won. Everything else is extra credit. Of course, you want to put your best foot forward, and maybe it's a draw. Maybe it's just scoring a goal in the World Cup. That's something to look forward to and have hopes to. But at the end of the day, it's just getting there. Now, Steve McLaren, and you look at Jamaica, they had the possibility to control their own destiny, win at home. If you told Jamaica, hey, Mexico, Canada, and the U.S., you don't have to worry about them. And I'll tell you what, it might be a little bit rocky. We're going to make it a little bit testy for you in this World Cup campaign, qualifying campaign, but we're going to give you the opportunity to win at home in the last day to go through. They would take that in a second, and they didn't deliver.
What do you think? I mean, you said it, Charlie. The expectations is they made it. They kind of have this freedom. And, I mean, how will it be like for them to know that they kind of have the freedom to, we've already exceeded expectations as a nation to make the World Cup? how do you expect their mentality?
I agree with you, Charlie. I think for them it's they celebrate, and I get what you're saying too, right? They have to focus now on what's next. How do I prepare for the World Cup? I think for them right now, celebrate today, tomorrow, take the week. Because
no one's going to work.
This is huge.
It's a holiday.
And then when it comes time to prepare for the World Cup, I think you try to put your best foot forward, but underdog, zero expectations, leave the expectations for the teams that have been there over and over again. For them, it's just perform well. Maybe some individual players make a name for themselves, and
love that. Love the opportunity that's on the table for these players.
Yeah.
And what about Panama? They have something to really put on the table. They have to show. They have to go to the World Cup, and they need results. It's not enough just to get there for Panama.
The different storyline for them, whereas for Curaçao and Haiti, it's exciting for them to be there. The expectations are different for Panama, where it's like, did it really take you until the final round, the final day, to be able to make it? So how do you see them approaching the World Cup now? Because they definitely have higher expectations.
Well, I'd say similar to how we saw them perform against the U.S. men's national team in Nations League in Mexico. They make it extremely difficult when they drop into a back five, and it's almost like they play in this pyramid, super compact, difficult to break down, and they counter extremely well. They have players to hurt you. This is a country that I could see surprising some nations at the World Cup because they do have quality. And the one guy I trust out of the whole Panama side is Thomas Christensen. He is a top manager. He's impressed me so much in how he's given this country belief and hope and a system. They have an identity. Now, goal scoring was probably their issue throughout World Cup qualifying. You could see they scored 0 in the first game against Suriname, 1 against Guatemala, 1 at El Salvador, 1 at Suriname, and then finally they exploded in the last 2 where they've scored 3 against Guatemala and tonight. So in saying that, I think they have a lot of work in front of them, but they are a nation that can make some noise.
So despite being tied on points with Honduras, Suriname overtook Honduras, so it'll be them and Jamaica that will go on to the playoffs. Now, the teams that will be in the Interconfederation playoff participants, so along with Jamaica and Suriname, Iraq, Bolivia, DR Congo, and New Caledonia. Now, due to the latest FIFA rankings, Iraq with 57 and DR Congo with 60, those 2 will automatically go to the final game of the playoffs, so they'll be able to rest a little bit more. There will be a new FIFA rankings dropping in the next day or 2, but we don't expect them to change too much, so it looks like this is how it will play out. Rodney, very disappointing for Honduras. I can't imagine. We just got to talk about all the amazing things for the 3 teams that have qualified in Honduras. I'm sure that they were keeping track maybe on the benches, but for them to lose that spot last minute.
The agony for them, and all they needed to do was take care of business. They were in control of their own destiny. And for them not to be able to go to Costa Rica and at least get 1 goal to make it through, it's disappointing for them, it's disappointing for the country, it's disappointing for the federation, and there's some things that they have to fix.
What about the other side of the coin?
For Suriname?
For Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Oh, for Costa Rica.
Well, now the story is, did they even deserve to be in the World Cup? Right? So maybe sometimes you need to take two steps back.
And the answer is no.
In order to go forward, because there needs to be something done within that federation, and they need to reconstruct everything, and they need to rebuild, and this is the perfect time. So these young players that are in right now, like Manfred Ugalde, Alcocer, they will be ready for the 2030 World Cup.
So
that's their
you hit
time
the
to
reset
shine.
button.
You have to reset. You have to reset, and that's it. That's it.
And you said it earlier, Miguel Herrera has to go. I think this is proof of that. He's not the guy for the job.
He's not the guy for the job. He was never the guy for the job, and I personally never thought that he had the capacity to coach Costa Rica. I think Costa Rica needs to think a little bit higher within who they hire as the manager.
In your mind?
I think they need to go back to what worked, which was Jorge Luis Pinto, a coach that knows Central America, knows CONCACAF, and that has gotten Costa Rica the furthest in the World Cup history in 2014 to the quarterfinals and lost to PKs versus Holland. He's a manager that likes to work, that pushes the players, And that's what you need in Costa Rica, because everything is pura vida, everything is relaxed, and we need a little bit of a push.
Yeah. Can we talk about Suriname, though? How incredible it must be for them last minute, Charlie, to be able to have a second chance now in March?
Well, it looked like, if you watch Stanley Menzo on the sideline, the manager for Suriname, it was almost like he gave up. Normally, you're thinking to yourself, if you're a coach in that situation, you're going to be up and say, guys, let's not lose the hope. Hey, let's organize. Let's fix this problem, or let's be a little bit more direct, or let's focus on being a little bit more compact. He was just sitting there lifeless. And if you're a player on the pitch, sometimes you're probably looking to him for some guidance, or, hey, maybe organize or switch some things up tactically. And it's almost like he saw, today's not our day, and I've given up. Luckily, they get bailed out. So now what happens in the playoff when you're talking about the opportunity to still go to the games? They have it in front of them. It's not going to be easy, but they still have a chance.
It prepares you, and it gives you confidence. But now, how are you going to fix those mistakes that occurred in this game? What are you going to do to change the system? Who are the players that are going to step up? There's little time to fix big mistakes, but you still go into a match with a lot of hope and a lot of opportunity. Repechaje, that's something that countries take pride in, and Costa Rica has done it against New Zealand. Countries do it, and it's like a bonus for them. So I would be excited if I had the opportunity to go into that second match.
Yeah, I think if I'm Suriname, I'm thinking, got to flip the switch. The mentality the energy they played with today, that can't happen. Yeah. Like if they go into the repechaje with that mentality, they're going to lose. They're going to get blown out. But it's interesting because they were sitting at the top of the table. They put themselves in a really good position before the game started. And then just to see them perform like this, it was just sad. And then they got lucky. I don't believe in luck, but they got lucky. Luck exists in football, and it worked to turn in their favor. Between
Jamaica and Suriname, now being one of the teams that will play in March, do you have faith in both of them, in one or the other, to be able to make it through?
If I had to choose between the two nations, I'd say Jamaica has a little bit more in terms of quality. They will probably have an easier path to the final, where I think they'll most likely play against Iraq. Okay. So you got Iraq or Congo, who are waiting in the finals. If you're Jamaica, if you're Steve McLaren, I think you're thinking, hey, we can do this. This is their get-out-of-jail-free card, because they get an opportunity, because it wasn't good enough. They were just not clinical. They had opportunities. They hit the crossbar 3 times tonight, and they just couldn't finish.